Hello, and welcome to our English Learning Channel. In this series, we will learn about one of the most powerful leaders in history, Suleiman the Magnificent. Let's begin with his early life. Episode 1: The Early Life of Suleiman the Magnificent. Who was Suleiman? Suleiman was born in 1494 in the city of Trabzon, which is now in modern-day Turkey. He was the son of Sultan Selim I, a strong and successful ruler of the Ottoman Empire. From a young age, Suleiman showed signs of great intelligence and leadership. As a child, he was sent to special schools where he learned about science, literature, history, and religion. He also learned to speak many languages, including Arabic, Persian, and Chagatai Turkish. These skills helped him become a wise and educated leader. A prince with a big future. Like other Ottoman princes, Suleiman was sent to govern different cities while he was young. He was given the job of ruling small cities like Manisa to gain experience. This was a tradition in the Ottoman Empire. Young princes had to learn how to govern before becoming sultans. During this time, Suleiman learned how to manage people, collect taxes, and make important decisions. He also learned about justice and fairness. These experiences helped him become a better ruler later in life. Becoming Suleiman. In 1520, Suleiman's father, Sultan Selim I, died. Suleiman was only 26 years old when he became the new sultan of the Ottoman Empire. At that time, the Ottoman Empire was already very powerful. It had strong armies, a big navy, and large lands across Europe, Asia, and Africa. But Suleiman wanted to make it even greater. He had big dreams and strong goals. A young leader with great ideas. Suleiman did not want to be just a warrior. He also wanted to be a good ruler for his people. He believed in justice, fairness, and education. That is why he is called Kanuni, which means the lawgiver in Turkish. Even as a young man, Suleiman showed that he cared about his people. He wanted to make new laws to help them live better lives. He also supported art, architecture, and poetry. In the next episode, we will talk about Suleiman's wars and conquests. He led many battles and expanded the Ottoman Empire. Don't forget to watch, learn, and practice your English. Thanks for watching. Episode 2: Suleiman, the Warrior King. Hello again, and welcome to Episode 2 of our series about Suleiman the Magnificent, also known as Kanuni Sultan Süleyman. In the last episode, we learned about his early life and how he became sultan. Today, we will talk about his military power and the many wars he fought during his rule. A strong and brave leader. Suleiman was not only a smart ruler, he was also a brave warrior. He led his armies in person and spent many years on the battlefield. His goal was to protect the Ottoman Empire and expand its lands. He believed that a strong empire needed strong borders. He led 13 military campaigns during his reign, more than many other Ottoman sultans. These wars helped the Ottoman Empire become one of the most powerful in the world. The conquest of Belgrade, 1521. One of Suleiman's first big victories was the conquest of Belgrade in 1521. Belgrade was an important city in Europe, and it was controlled by the Kingdom of Hungary. Suleiman knew that taking Belgrade would give the Ottomans a better position in Central Europe. After a strong battle, the city surrendered. This victory made Suleiman famous across Europe. The Siege of Rhodes, 1522. In 1522, Suleiman attacked the island of Rhodes, which was controlled by the Knights of St. John. These knights often attacked Ottoman ships in the Mediterranean Sea. Suleiman led a long siege that lasted more than 5 months. Finally, the knights surrendered, and the island became part of the Ottoman Empire. Suleiman showed mercy to the knights and allowed them to leave safely. This showed he was not only strong, but also honorable. The Battle of Mohács, 1526. One of Suleiman's most important victories was the Battle of Mohács in 1526. He fought against the Hungarian army, which was led by King Louis II. The battle was short but powerful. In just 2 hours, the Ottoman army destroyed the Hungarian forces. King Louis died in the battle, and Hungary became weak. After this battle, Suleiman entered the city of Budapest and had a strong influence in Central Europe. This made the Ottoman Empire even more powerful. The First Siege of Vienna, 1529. After the victory in Mohács, Suleiman tried to take Vienna, the capital of Austria. He wanted to expand the empire deeper into Europe. In 1529, he led a big army to besiege Vienna, but this time the Ottomans could not win. The weather was bad, the roads were muddy, and supplies were low. Suleiman had to retreat. Even though he did not win Vienna, he showed Europe the power of the Ottoman Empire. European leaders were now afraid of the Sultan's armies. Suleiman's naval power. Suleiman also worked to build a strong navy. He wanted to control the seas around the empire, like the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. With the help of his admiral, Barbarossa Hayreddin Pasha, Suleiman's navy defeated many enemies and protected trade routes. This made the empire rich and powerful not just on land, but at sea. In the next episode, we will learn about Suleiman's Golden Age, his love for art, architecture, and law. Thanks for watching. Episode 3. Suleiman and the Golden Age of the Ottoman Empire. Hello again. In the last episode, we talked about his great battles and military power. Today, we will explore a different side of him, the side that made the Ottoman Empire rich in culture, law, and art. This time is often called the Golden Age of the Ottoman Empire. What is a Golden Age? A Golden Age is a time when a country or empire is at its best. It has peace, wealth, good leadership, and great art, science, and education. During Suleiman's rule, the Ottoman Empire became one of the most advanced and beautiful places in the world. A ruler who loved art and culture. Suleiman was not just a warrior. He was also a poet, a calligrapher, and a lover of art. He wrote poems in both Turkish and Persian under the pen name Muhibi, which means the lover. He supported painters, architects, poets, scientists, and teachers. Under his rule, the Ottoman Empire became a center for culture and knowledge. People from different parts of the world came to Istanbul to learn and share ideas. The great architect Mimar Sinan. One of the most important people in Suleiman's Golden Age was Mimar Sinan, the chief architect. Sinan designed many beautiful mosques, schools, and bridges across the empire. He is considered one of the greatest architects in world history. One of his most famous works is the Süleymaniye Mosque in Istanbul. It is not only beautiful, but also very strong and well-designed. It became a symbol of the empire's power, beauty, and Suleiman's love for knowledge and religion. Suleiman the Lawgiver. Suleiman was called Kanuni, which means the lawgiver, because he made many important changes to the law. He created a legal system that was fair and organized. Before him, there were different laws in different parts of the empire. Suleiman made them clear and equal for everyone. He worked with smart advisors and judges to create laws about taxes, trade, property, and justice. These laws helped to keep peace and order in a very large and diverse empire. Education and schools. During Suleiman's time, education became more important. He built many madrasas, or Islamic schools, where students learned about religion, science, mathematics, and literature. Many people became educated, and libraries were filled with books in many languages. Thanks to this focus on education, the empire produced many smart people: doctors, engineers, scholars, and artists. A time of peace and trade. Because Suleiman was a strong leader, the empire was safe and stable. This peace helped trade grow. Merchants traveled safely from Asia to Europe, selling spices, silk, coffee, ceramics, and jewelry. Istanbul became one of the richest and most important cities in the world. People from different religions and cultures lived together in peace. In the next episode, we will learn about Suleiman's personal life, his family, his love for Hürrem Sultan, and how he ruled the palace. Don't miss it! Episode 4: Suleiman's Private World, Family, and Palace Life. Welcome back to our English learning series about Suleiman the Magnificent. Now, let's take a look at his personal life, his family, and his time in the Topkapi Palace. Life inside the palace. Suleiman lived in the Topkapi Palace in Istanbul. It was more than just a home. It was the heart of the empire. In the palace, important meetings were held, laws were discussed, and letters were written to leaders around the world. The palace was very big. It had gardens, libraries, kitchens, mosques, and the harem. Many people worked there, including cooks, guards, artists, teachers, and doctors. Suleiman spent much of his time working on empire matters, but he also enjoyed reading poetry, listening to music, and spending time with his family. The harem and women's role. The harem was a private part of the palace where the sultan's mother, wives, and children lived. It was not just a place of beauty, it was also a place of power and education. Women in the harem were trained in music, literature, language, and manners. Some of them became very powerful and gave advice to the sultan. Hürrem Sultan, a woman who changed history. One of the most famous women in Ottoman history is Hürrem Sultan. She was born in modern-day Ukraine and brought to the palace as a young girl. Her name was Roxlana before she converted to Islam and was given the name Hürrem, which means the joyful one. Suleiman fell deeply in love with her. This was unusual because Ottoman sultans often did not marry. But Suleiman married Hürrem, which was a very rare and special event in the empire's history. Hürrem became his trusted companion. She was smart, educated, and influential. She wrote letters to leaders in other countries and worked on charity projects, such as building mosques, schools, and hospitals. The children of Suleiman. Suleiman had several sons. The most famous were Mustafa, a talented and loved prince, but he was executed after a political conflict. Selim, known as Selim II, he later became the next sultan after Suleiman's death. Mehmed, Bayezid, and Cihangir. Each had their own stories, but not all of them survived due to the power struggles of the time. Life in the palace was not always easy even for the sultan's children. The competition to become the next sultan was often very dangerous. Suleiman's personality. Suleiman was known to be kind but strict. He was very loyal to his family and friends, but he also made hard decisions when needed. Even when it came to family, he always put the empire first. He was deeply religious and believed in justice. In his personal life, he tried to follow the same values he expected from others: honesty, respect, and duty. Summary of Episode 4. Suleiman lived in the Topkapi Palace, the center of the Ottoman world. The harem was a private but powerful place for women. Hürrem Sultan, his wife, was smart and had great influence. He had many sons, but palace life was full of competition and danger. Suleiman was a balanced leader, both emotional and strong. In the next and final episode, we will talk about Suleiman's final years, his death, and the legacy he left behind. See you soon. Episode 5: The Final Years and Legacy of Suleiman the Magnificent. Welcome to the final episode of our series. In this episode, we will talk about the last years of his life, how he died, and what kind of legacy he left for the world. A long reign. Suleiman ruled the Ottoman Empire for 46 years, from 1520 to 1566. This was the longest reign of any Ottoman sultan. Even in his older years, he continued to work hard. He still made laws, led political meetings, and even went to war, although he had health problems. He suffered from gout, a painful disease that made it hard for him to walk. But he did not stop. He believed it was his duty to serve the empire until the end of his life. The final campaign, Siege of Vienna, 1566. In 1566, Suleiman decided to go on one last military campaign. He was 72 years old, but he wanted to fight against the Austrian forces and capture the fortress of Siege of Vienna in Hungary. Even though he was very weak, he joined the campaign. He stayed in a special tent near the battlefield while his army fought the war. On September 6, 1566, during the siege, Suleiman died in his tent. His heart and internal organs were buried in Siege of Vienna, but his body was taken back to Istanbul. At the time of his death, his soldiers were still fighting. To keep morale high, the news of his death was kept secret for several days. The end of an era. Suleiman's death marked the end of the Golden Age of the Ottoman Empire. After him, the empire continued, but it never reached the same level of power, peace, and cultural success again. His son Selim II became the next sultan, but he did not have the same strength or vision as his father. A lasting legacy. Suleiman left behind more than just land and buildings. His legacy included a strong legal system that influenced the empire for hundreds of years, beautiful mosques, schools, and bridges, many of which still stand today, a culture of art, poetry, and science that made the Ottoman Empire famous, a powerful example of leadership, justice, and vision. He is remembered not just in Turkey, but in many parts of the world as a great ruler who combined strength and wisdom. The Suleymaniye Mosque, his resting place. Suleiman was buried in the Suleymaniye Mosque, which was built by his great architect Mimar Sinan. His tomb is next to the mosque and is visited by thousands of people every year. The mosque stands as a symbol of his love for faith, beauty, and knowledge. Summary of Episode 5. Suleiman ruled for 46 years, the longest of any Ottoman sultan. He died during the Siege of Vienna campaign in 1566. His death marked the end of the empire's golden age. He left behind the legacy of law, culture, and greatness. He is buried in the Suleymaniye Mosque in Istanbul. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Suleiman the Magnificent. We hope you not only learned about history, but also practiced your English with us. Keep watching, keep learning, and never stop being curious. See you in our next series.